What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Why Not podcast. Here, we discuss the moments in life. We ask ourselves, why not? Before leaping over obstacles and ultimately pursuing something great. Today's exceptional guest on the show is Malcolm Wright from Yonkers, New York. Many know him as Coach Lefty. Coach Lefty is an educator, a trusted mentor, a passionate football and basketball coach, and a loving husband. When I was first introduced to Coach Lefty, I witnessed firsthand what is required of an individual if you wanted to be great. It is truly an honor and a privilege to know Malcolm Wright, a stand-up individual who wears many hats with grace and wisdom.
My motto is why not, and I always stick by it, regardless of what people say, what is possible, what's not possible. I continue to think why not, I continue to strive to be the best I can be.
What's good, Coach? How you doing?
My guy, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me, man. What you're doing with this podcast, even in life, man. Speaking at a graduation, shipping clothes off to Africa, man. It's an amazing thing, man, to watch you grow from that young man in high school to this grown man right now, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. So keep doing what you're doing, going into your greatness. Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure being on here.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt. I appreciate you. You've been there every step of the way too. So I definitely want to give my flowers and I appreciate you. I just want to start off by saying, always extending my gratitude. Thank you so much for just taking the time out of your day and being here with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. I definitely told you when you was in high school, I'm your coach forever, and I mean it. And this is just an example of it. I mean, doing something like this is just amazing. It's stuff that people dream of. So I'm just happy to see this dream manifest itself. So I love it.
Yes, sir. Yo, I feel like I'm back, man. You bringing out, you giving me that feeling again, you know?
Yeah. That dog. You always have that dog when coming out. I love it.
Yeah, so I just want to get right into it, man. What
Yes,
was
sir.
the biggest why not moment in your life?
Yes, sir. The biggest why not moment in my life, and it's weird because you think about it. For me, right now, as a child, right, then you think about it as a teenager, then you think about it as a man. But the overall theme of my biggest why not has been, you know, as a overall man, why not defy the odds, right? Like, why not
Mm,
being born and raised from Yonkers, being a young black boy, going to public schools, seeing a whole bunch of violence, seeing a whole bunch of negativity on news, why not defy those odds? So, and it's so many things to it. That I can't really point out a single event, but everything that I have encompassed is just why not defy the odds has been attached to that. Why not do it? So, and again, I give you a million examples, and I don't want to be on here all day, but why not defy the odds, right? So, everything as a child is just, I had a terrible bone and joint disease, and it's like, hey, why not overcome this? As a teenager, going into school, I went to 4 different schools. At that point, I should have been a dropout, shouldn't have did it. Why not finish school? As a man, married now with 2 kids, I'm only 31. Like, why not have a successful marriage? So it's just so much. Why not defy the odds? Why not beat the odds? Is what I'm going through in my life.
yeah. And congratulations on the newborn. That's
Yeah,
major.
thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you.
God bless you.
Yes, sir. Girl
God
dad
bless
right
you and
now.
the
Girl dad.
family. Yeah.
Girl dad.
Yeah, big girl dad too.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you been feeling after she came?
Oh, it's amazing, man. It's different because all your life until you get married, until you have children, you live for yourself. You do a lot of things to figure yourself out. And now,
Hmm.
once you have a wife, once you have children, you also you just have a higher purpose of living, right? So I just feel like my being is not even my own anymore. Like, every movement I
Yeah.
make, every breath I take is to make sure that my wife and my daughters can wake up and look up and, like, hey, I'm proud of him being my husband. I'm proud of that guy being my dad. So it just that whole mind shift. You don't even do the little things that you used to do no more because it's like, oh, she might be watching me right now. I can't jaywalk. I'm gonna use a crosswalk. So it's simple things like that just changes your outlook on life completely.
Yeah. I love that. That's beautiful. So I just want to go back to your why not moment real quick. With all the pressures of the world trying to make you do the wrong thing,
Yeah.
how do you always try to do the right thing all the time. I know your last name is Wright, so I
Yeah,
know people probably
yeah,
say that to you all the time. Do the right
yeah,
thing, like Spike would.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so how are you able to just ignore the outside world and do the right thing?
I think the biggest thing, man, is placing God first, man. Even as a child, my grandparents had me heavy into the church and into the Bible. And again, I don't even know it cover to cover to this date, but just growing up with a spiritual connection, knowing that it's not flesh and blood that we wrestle against, that it's wickedness and darkness in this world. And when you understand that as a young boy, as you become a man, the things that happen to you and the forces that pull on you, you understand what's happening, right? So it's a different level of thinking. It's not surface, right? I know when I'm being pulled in a bad direction that my better is coming. My better is on the other side of that. So if I do go left, not saying that I'm not going to reach my greatness, it's going to take me a little bit longer because I know better, So just understanding that those things exist, not being naive to it, I think helps me overcome it because I know that it's just distracting me from the greatness that I'm destined to reach. So just understanding that there is negativity, there is darkness, there is wickedness in the world. Once you encounter it, you deal with it a little differently.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's actually something that I'm starting to I'm starting to figure out in my everyday, day to day. Same thing. My mom actually was she's a super church person, and she brought me to church growing up. And anytime I fight something or I'm coming against something, the good book is where I'm going to, or
Yes.
I'm going to my going to the Lord quietly in my room.
Yeah.
Even if I don't go to church, like as big as
Yeah.
I am now, even
Yeah.
if I don't go, I'm still going to him. I'm still talking to him and asking him to help me fight this battle, because I know it's not me versus the outside pressures. It's me
Absolutely.
versus the things I can't see. Is
Absolutely.
I keep telling myself lately all the time in my head during my workouts, like it's me versus me. It's not me versus
That's
anybody
it.
else.
That's it.
It's me versus me. Yeah.
That's it. And it's great when you understand that because yes, it's you versus you, but it ain't only you, right? Like you have God
Yeah.
on your side who's all encompassing, all powerful, almighty. So
Yeah.
it's you versus you every day, knowing that you got you serve someone who's not gonna let you lose, right? So like
Amen.
I'm just be better
Amen.
than I was yesterday because y'all don't matter because the victory is already mine, right? So I'm
Yeah.
just gonna operate like that, and that's what's so great because, and again, it's especially in this social media world where things. It's a microwave society. People want stuff like that, and they want to be something else or somebody else, and it's really tough to look in that mirror. Like, first of all, who are you, right? Like,
Yeah.
what are you about? What is your 100% being? And then understanding that, hey, that person may not be perfect, so you need to be
Yeah.
better than that person you was yesterday. But again, like you said, go to your quiet place, seek out the Lord's face. Like, hey, man, I'm struggling a little bit here. Help me out. So it's
Yeah.
you versus you every day. One of my models I live with too. So that it's amazing to hear that in the next generation.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So when I was a junior, when I was 16, and that was actually my first time playing football, and I remember Coach D, he brought us in the locker room or his office. He was like, "Yo, this is a new coach. We bring it on to the staff." I was like, "Yo, it's a black coach." But I didn't think too much of it, cuz like it's my first time. So I didn't it's my first time even playing football. So I didn't
Yeah,
even know what
yeah,
to
yeah.
expect coming in. And coming from like the workouts, the off season workouts we had, and just getting the first touch of you, feel and sense of you being our coach, I was like, this guy is crazy, yo.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah,
crazy. He's
yeah, yeah.
crazy. He's tough. He's real. He's real mean. He's real, like, right to the point. So my question for you is, did you feel like you had like a certain type of responsibility coming in and being a black coach to us? Because you was actually
I
my first black coach ever.
do. You know what's so funny? Because I grew up with all black coaches in my childhood, but then, like you said, as you grow up and you reach these different levels, you kind of don't recognize it to the smack you in the face, right? Like so,
Yeah, yeah.
when I came back, I was on a mission. I was on a mission to help you know black and brown boys understand. Like, look, I came from exactly where you standing right now, and I know what
Mm-hmm.
it takes to get exactly where I am. So it ain't gonna be no shortcuts. It ain't gonna be no half stepping. It ain't gonna be no maybe give me a break. It's like, nah, nobody cares, and that's the message that I try to convey coming right out the gate that like, yo, look, work harder, nobody cares. Like, I'm gonna love you, and you're
Yeah.
gonna figure out how I'm gonna love you, and I'm gonna get you to tell me you love me in 2 weeks. You better believe it. But
Yeah.
just pedal to the metal, like, hey, we gotta go, and every little detail matters, and that's what I had on my shoulders when I first started that. Look, I got to get these kids to understand every little thing matters, and it may not be how they like it. It may not be catered to them, but they're gonna get that every single thing you do from the moment you step into this locker room, it matters, and you need to do it correctly because nobody's gonna give you a break. So that was when I came off, man. And again, I'm fresh out of college. I'm hooting, hollering. I had no wife, I had no kids. I'm just burning all energy and exhausting myself to get you guys to understand that, look, you're about to be the best man and the best person you can ever be. And in that process, it ain't gonna be pretty. It ain't gonna be
Mm-hmm.
cute. It ain't gonna be like, man, I love this guy every single moment. But I guarantee you, when you leave me, you're gonna remember every little thing matters and everything we did to get you where you at now, which is just gonna propel you to the next level. So I did. I had that chip on my shoulder, and I had that big responsibility to make you guys better after you met me than you were before you met me.
And it's funny because looking back on it now, like somebody would think, yo, he was being mean then. He was
Yeah,
being mean. He was being a
yeah.
jerk. But looking at it now, he's like, yo, that was tough love that you showed us from the
It
rip, from
was
the get go. As soon as you
from
walked in, tough love.
yeah, yeah, and it's important because even now, the word expectation is like it's thrown out the window. Like, you don't say that. You can't expect things from kids. Like people
Mm,
kind of talk down expectation when it's real. Is what we need. And again, you'll be shocked at how many kids can meet the expectation if you set it. Like
yeah,
all you gotta do is set the bar. And don't drop it
yeah,
at all. The
yeah.
unfortunate part is not everybody's gonna meet it. Not everybody's gonna want to work that hard. But that don't
Mm-hmm.
mean I'm changing my bar. That just
Yeah,
means instead of the 30 kids I should have had, I got 27. All right,
yeah,
cool. Like those threes gonna come back at some point, and the ball's still
yeah,
gonna be there. And they're gonna have a
yeah,
different level of understanding. So it was that was very important to me, man. To set the ball extremely high and like let's go get it because I knew you guys could.
yeah, yeah. It was funny, yo. We would be lifting, working out in the weight room. We be joking around and stuff. We'd be like, yo, Coach Lefty coming. Yo, do your sets, get your
Yeah,
reps
yeah,
in and
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. He wasn't playing around.
No games, no games. It's time to go. It's time to go, man.
Yeah, yeah. And I appreciate you for that, man. For real. I
Nah,
really
man. That
appreciate you.
it,
Thank you so much.
it yeah, man. It makes me feel like I did do the right. Because again, even myself, I drive home and I go in the back of my head like, man, maybe I was a little too tough today. Maybe I should
Mm-hmm.
change, or maybe I should, because self reflection is the best reflection. So I self reflected every single day. Even when you left with attitude, or Jaquel left with attitude, or any of the boys left with attitude, I'm like, dang, maybe I should switch it up. But then the next day they'll raise their intensity, and I'm like, all right, let's go. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing this the right
Yeah.
way, like we got this, and I would see that. I would
Yeah.
see you guys joking around, and then I come, you tighten up. I'm like, oh yeah, I almost got him. Like yeah, we almost there. So
Yeah.
it means the world to me to now even hear like, yo, coach, I'm up at 6 a.m. working out. I'm like, that's amazing, dude. Like more before
Yeah.
noon than some people do all day. That's the attitude
Yeah.
you should have, and that's how success happens. So it warms my
Yeah.
heart seriously to hear you say that.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. As a coach, how do you know what I'm just piggybacking off what you just said right
Yep.
now. How do you know what kids respond to best?
It's what's funny is kids are like snowflakes, man. Like no two kids is
I
the
never
same
heard
kid,
that before.
So it is you can't. And my biggest thing now as I'm getting older, I tell the kids that listen, I'm not gonna treat everybody the same way because you
Mm,
guys aren't the same, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
so, my biggest thing first of all is building that ground level. Like who is this kid? Right? Like, what
Okay.
about this kid can I connect to right now where I could get him to understand that I get him, that I want it, that you not, although I may not going through what you've gone through, I can listen and understand, and we can work together. So, as a coach, it's just that baseline foundation. And really, what's funny is I've really started, and I started with you guys. Like I say, yo, I love you, and the
Yeah.
amount of teenage boys especially black and brown boys that look at me like, you love me, yeah. I'm not saying that back. And I'm like, now you don't understand, baby. I love you. And you're going to tell me you love me back. But let's figure out how to love each other. So it's just, again, man, it's not one formula. It's not one recipe. It's, again,
Mm-hmm.
lay that foundation of love and listening. And then everything else just kind of falls into place. Because you know what kids like, like I knew that, I can't go in this guy's face and yell at him from the moment I get here. He ain't gonna respond to that. I gotta pull him to the side. Hey, look, this is what I need you to do back here at DB, right? Like, don't be afraid to get your
Mm-hmm.
nose in a little bit. You're gonna be good, right? And once there's other kids that's like, yo, dude, you need to pick it up now or go home, right? So it's just building that baseline of love and listening. Everything else just falls into place, man. So I wish I could give you a magic secret, a magic word, a magic sentence, but it's just so different. And again, I'm learning every single day too. But just building that foundation of love and listening, and everything else just falls into place.
Yo, that's beautiful, man. What
Yeah,
is
man.
motivating you every day to be a better father, be a better husband, and a better leader?
Um, my circle, like I
Okay.
always say the people under my umbrella, right? Because again, I know a whole bunch of people, but there's certain people who I feel I am 100% responsible for. My wife, my two daughters, my parents, my nieces and nephews, my sister, like those guys are under my umbrella, right? And I know
Yeah.
if I'm not waking up every day to better myself, there's no way I can ask those guys to do better, or there's no way those guys will do better. So it's my
Mm.
circle and my people under my umbrella that wakes me up, that gets me going, like my little daughter now, like she don't sleep much, but 4:15 come, I see the sun coming up. I'm like, I'm good. I made it another day. She needs me to
Yeah.
smile. I may be tired. I'm gonna get a little 30-minute nap somewhere, but she needs me to be the best version of myself. So that's what keeps me going each and every single day, man. To just again, like you said, you versus you, 1% better. It's the process that creates the product of being great.
Yeah. What I don't have kids right now. I don't have a family,
Yeah,
nothing
take your
like
time.
that. But
Take your time.
yeah. What type of sense of urgency like is there every day to just to lead them and be responsible for these people?
Oh man, it is a tremendous pressure where again that's a whole 2 hour conversation, especially being from the inner city and seeing the things you saw that sometimes I'm too aggressive in my approach. Like sometimes I'm trying to teach them like they 17 and she's only 2, right? So I feel
Mm.
a big sense of urgency to let them know that they are truly loved. And also, I try to teach them every lesson I could. But with that, I also learned how to just be present, right? How to just be where your feet are. And it's only as urgent as the moment, right? So, like, when I go home, as much as I just want to make sure everything's done, make sure that her college tuition is already paid for, she's 2 years old, like, I can only be
Yeah.
as urgent as that moment in time right there. So, I kind of start working backwards now to where I'm just as urgent as the moment. I'm planning for her to go to college, right? I'm planning for her future. I'm teaching her great habits. I'm setting her up for success, but I don't want to put that added pressure on me to like, you got to get this done now. Like the only thing she needs
Hmm.
from me when she sees me is to be as present as possible and to love her as possible. So that's the urgency I
Yeah.
put on myself is just the presentness and being a parent and being a husband. And then the preparation for her future is going to set her up for whatever she needs.
Yo, that's tough. That's what's up. I'm definitely putting that in my pocket.
Yeah, nah, for sure. That's why we here, man. That's why
Yeah,
we
I can
here.
always come back and look at this film.
Yeah, yeah, look. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
film
awesome.
don't lie.
Film never lies. Film tells no lies.
Yeah, yeah. So what what lessons, all the lessons you learned on your journey to being a coach now, when it comes to coaching and mentoring, what lessons have you learned on your journey that you would tell your 23-year-old Malcolm?
And this is the hard truth, and 23-year-old Malcolm probably wouldn't believe it, but um, unconditional love to a lot of people has conditions, right? Like
You're gonna
someone,
have to break that down.
yeah. So, I mean, me, I just have such a huge heart, man. I just love, and when I love, I don't put any type of condition. Like, I don't love you because I'm on your podcast, or I don't love you because you doing stuff to advocate. Like, even if you dropped out, you couldn't figure it out, you were still struggling. Like, I would still love you, you know. And as you get older, you'll understand, and you come across people. And again, it is the hard truth of the world that a lot of people love you with their condition in mind. You know, there's very few people that you're gonna come across who, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how you act, they're gonna pull you to the side, give you a phone call, and say, "Hey, listen, Malcolm. I know you're 23. I know you think everybody loves you. You got to take a deep breath, man, because these people only love you because you're doing this. You know, or this group of
Mm.
people only using you for that. So, and again, you know, once you understand it, you just operate differently. You know, you don't expect yourself from somebody else. You know, you just understand that some people love you with their conditions, and you either, you know, choose to deal with that, operate with it, or you just let
Mm-hmm.
it go and go somewhere else. So I would tell to man, like, some people love unconditionally with conditions. So you really need to figure out how they wanted, how they love you, and then deal with it in that aspect. You know, like I said, like, don't expect you from you. You know, take it for face value, right? Somebody show you $1, believe it's $1, and don't expect it to be $50. So that's
Mm-hmm.
one big lesson. I'm still learning it, you know, and again, it's a lifelong lesson. But you know, just understand that people, not a lot of people love you unconditionally. You know, understand the
Mm-hmm.
conditions in which they love you. And then again, either choose to, all right, this is how you love me, I'm gonna deal with it, or guess what? It's not really for me, it's not gonna help me grow. I gotta kind of
Yeah.
let it go. And there's nothing wrong with either choice.
Mm. Okay. Okay. When it comes to like when you just said, "Oh, it's a lesson I gotta learn," I feel like it's some things where I'm like, "Okay, I learned that. I'm good. I don't need to learn it again." But yo, that lesson keeps circling the block,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Damn, I thought I learned this already." You know?
Yeah. But you know, the great thing about that is just elevation, right? Like, again, after Gorton, I've been a coach at three other places, and I'm like, I thought I was done moving, but it's like, no, you're not done moving, because when you move, you meet more people, right? Like, when you move,
Mm-hmm.
you got to reestablish yourself again. So when you go through repeat lessons, it ain't really for you per se. It's for the people that you're about to be attached to, and also to humble you a little bit. Like, hey, you thought you had to figure it out a little bit. No, do it a
Mm-hmm.
little differently this time. You know, so when things like that happen in your life, just align yourself and keep the same posture that, like, all right, I got the baseline to how to handle this. Now let me see
Yeah.
how to elevate it. Let me see how to really make it do what it do to a higher level.
Yeah. Yeah. What What is the greatest lesson the game of football has taught you?
Life's not fair. Life's not fair, man. There's been games. I mean, even my playing years, you know, I wasn't the greatest athlete in the world. I worked my butt off to become a starter my senior year, and then, you know, it gets taken away from me week 4. Back concussion, brains bleeding. You could never play football again, right? Like, so,
Wow.
you know, for a while after that, I'm like, I'm mad at God. You know, honestly, like, God, why would you do that to me? You know how hard I worked for this, and you know what it means to me. You know what it meant to me. Like, what's going on? And even, you know, now that coaching wise, I can prepare myself and can prepare my kids as much as possible, but we still may not win, right? And that's not because we ain't winners. That's just because that wasn't our day. You know, like, it wasn't because I sucked at playing football. It's just because I needed to get into coaching quicker than I would have if I was playing. So it's two ways of looking at it. You know, I could have just been
Mm.
down in the dumps and not did nothing and out and do whatever. But, you know, instead, my senior year, I ended up upstairs on the headset, becoming a student coach, you know, as a senior in high school, staying at coaches meeting. And, you know, I just understood that, you know, life's not fair, you know, and that doesn't mean give up. That just means find another avenue, right? Like, there's more than one letter in the alphabet for a reason. So
Yeah.
if this don't work out, baby, go figure it out. Go to plan B. Go to plan Q. Go to plan Z. Like, and then start all over.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest lesson the game has taught me, man, is just life's not fair, but you don't give up. You just figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. And you roll with the punches.
That's it. You gotta take the straights with the curves, man. That's life.
Yeah. I never knew that. I never knew that was your story. I never knew that happened to you,
Yeah.
yo.
Yo, it was
That's
it was
crazy.
crazy. Yeah. No, it sucked. Again, like you work your butt off to get something, and then it just gets taken away in a minute, and you like, I waited 17 years for this. Yeah, you could have did this a
Yeah.
long time. You could have did this a long time ago, right? But the lessons that you learn through it is why it happens. Is what why. And again, the cliche, everything happens for a reason. It's really tough to believe when you don't understand the reason why it's happening, right? So, but
Yeah.
once you lock in and you get that foundation, you go to your quiet place and you're like, God, what's up? What are you trying to teach me here? I know it's something, so help me figure it out. And for me, it's just getting into coaching. I knew at 17 years old, 2 weeks after I got hurt, that I'm going to be one of the greatest coaches to ever walk this planet. And that's my mission every single day. Like I got it now. I wasn't going to the pros. I wasn't going to be an NFL quarterback, but I am going to be the greatest coach some people have seen. So
Yeah.
it's you just lock in, man. You figure out the mission, you switch the letters, and you keep going.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And you're doing a hell of a job at it, man.
Oh
I
man,
commend you. I take
I
my hat off
appreciate
to
that.
you for sure.
Oh, oh, it warmed my heart. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank
Yo,
you, thank you.
man, for
He's
sure.
the world.
For sure, for sure. So going back again to your why not moment, what lessons have you learned from your why not moment
Yeah,
that will help you raise daughters? Because I know, if you was raising a man, it would be different, but now
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah,
raising your daughter to
yeah.
be a woman. So
Right.
what have you learned that could help raise her?
The biggest thing I learned was that self sabotage is real, right? Like dealing with
Yeah.
coming from the inner city as a child, dealing with being sick, dealing with losing football, dealing with dropping out of college, and until you fully know yourself inside and out, it's hard to progress anywhere, right? So, like again, like I said, man, my growing up in the inner city, I've seen a lot of kids, and I even did it myself, put myself in situations where I ruined my own opportunity. So I just got to get my girls to know that, hey, listen, you're gonna have opportunities, and you deserve these opportunities. So don't ruin it by thinking you don't deserve it, or don't ruin it
Mm,
by thinking you ain't good enough, or don't ruin it by thinking there's something better. Like just be as present as possible, because this moment is all you have. So go enjoy it, and don't be your own worst enemy.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because that imposter syndrome, the
Oh,
it is so real. It's so real, and sometimes it's so hard to break out of.
it's generational, man. Because you see it, and you see it within your family or within your friends, or it just again coming from the city of Yonkers, you see a lot of potential that people don't reach because either they're afraid to go fail, right, or they
Mm,
never seen nobody go out and fail and then figure it out. So once they do fail, they just give up. It's real, man. It's so real to self-sabotage, to feel like you don't belong there, to do something that's unkind. It's so real. But the more we speak about it, and again, I'm going to do this with my daughters, the more I give them the knowledge of it, the more that I'm
hmm
going to pray that they understand that. Take advantage
Yeah.
of every moment, every opportunity. Whatever doesn't happen, doesn't happen. Don't kick yourself. Don't put yourself down in the dumps. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps, and let's go figure it out.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So before I get into my last question, I just want to say once again, thank you so much for taking
Oh
the
man,
time
my
out your day.
pleasure.
I
My
appreciate you
pleasure.
so much.
Oh
I've been
man.
having so much fun just talking to you and learning so much from you. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
No, listen, man. It's my like I said. It makes me feel like I hear like, well done, my good and faithful servant, right? Like he got one,
Yeah.
like I didn't know him before he was 15, 16 years old. Now I know him forever, so it brings me great joy, like literally tearing up joy to be like, here's a kid. I had no idea who he was until I came across him. And now I ain't never gonna let him go, so it
Yeah.
brings me great joy to see every step you take. So please keep doing what you're doing and know that I'm always and forever in your corner, man. No matter if it's the greatest thing you ever did or you get hurt in something, I am here and I love you. So don't you ever forget that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love you more. I love you too. So, as humans, I was just thinking about this question this morning after I
Yeah,
was doing
yeah.
some reading. So, as humans, we're wired for negativity bias. how do you combat this and just stay positive in your mind in this mental journey, in this mental battle?
So, and again, I've been like this again, like for all my life, just happy go lucky. Glass half full. And I think a lot of it happened, as being a sickly kid, almost seeing death and like, yo, I'm alive. Let's go get it. But also, it's gonna happen. Like I said, it's gonna have like the biggest thing, right? Like I lost my best friend in August, and the world felt like it was like just crashing down, like just negative things all around me, right? And what I just tell myself is, and literally every single moment I wake up, I pray. I say, God, thank you for another day, right? Have your will, have your way. Less of me and more of you is what I need to make it through. And every time I say that, I understand that there's a purpose. There's a purpose. So I have purpose. So all that negative stuff that tries to pull me away or try to get spewed in my ear or people say about me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because nobody here has the power to judge me or condemn me or to put me somewhere they think I belong because I serve a higher being. I serve the Lord. So all that negative stuff just gets pushed to the back and I just lock in with God in moments, again, from the moment I wake up and we just go, so, and it's just easy because as the more you speak to him, the more you understand that it's a gift to be here, so to waste time being negative, it's wasted time, and that's the one intangible we can never get back. I'm gonna get back
Yeah.
a couple of dollars. I'm gonna get another sandwich from the store. I'm gonna get a new pair of shoes. That stuff is gonna happen. But this time that I'm here on this planet, right, these 30 minutes that I spent with you, I ain't never gonna get back. So I don't care what else is going on in the world. I am going to enjoy every single moment I'm here because
Yeah.
nothing else matters.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
yeah,
Man,
yeah.
I'm just so grateful, so thankful for you. Is there any last message that you want to say to people out there that's gonna be listening to this?
Oh man, I mean, look, man, you're about to blow up, so I'm just happy I got on and I got in early. But again, just keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, man, my message to everybody is just go be great. Just go be great at whatever it is you do. Right now I know basketball, you are killing it. And again, in the process, sometimes you forget the product, but enjoy this moment right now, man, because you came a long way. A young black boy from Yonkers, New York, playing for going high school,
Yeah.
coming out of college, like, yeah, I got to go figure it out. To like I said, speaking at your own graduation, or getting donations to St. Close to Africa. So, just guys, whoever's listening, just continue to be great. Find your lane, find your avenue, and I promise you, man, everything is gonna work out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all heard it from the GOAT himself, my guy.
Ah,
My
uh,
guy, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so
love
much. I
you,
hope you're
Dave.
not getting caught in the rain right now, too.
No, man, it's raining. I found me a little ledge to sit under, but look, man, I'll stand in the rain for you any day, man. You know that.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of the year, and just continue to stay blessed. Continue to be a blessing to everybody you come across, because everybody that comes across you is man. They
Oh,
don't know what they in for. They in for something. They in for something. They in
I
for
appreciate
something.
that.
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
yeah.
I love you,
For,
man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate that.
for sure. For sure. I love you too. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
All right.